Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato. On today's Everything Music, we're going to talk about how to name chords. I was talking with a friend of mine about this exact topic. He was saying that he was moving around a chord shape on the guitar and was wondering what these different chords were and how to figure it out. It's something that's always confused him. I think confuses many people. If you take a chord like this, E major, and you move it to the first fret like that, you can say, well, it's kind of an F major because you can see that bar chord, but what are those open strings? How do you actually name that chord? When you go up here, it's a totally different chord. What are those droning open strings in relation to the rest of the chord? Well, the first thing that you need to do to be able to analyze any chord is to actually just simply memorize the 12 major triads. Now, why am I saying that? If you know the 12 major triads, that would be C major, G major, D major, A major, E major, B major, F sharp major, D flat major, A flat major, E flat major, B flat major, F major. If you know those 12 triads and you know the notes that are in those 12 chords, then using a formula, that being 1, 3, 5, and then knowing that a minor chord is 1 flat 3 5, a diminished chord is 1 flat 3 flat 5, and an augmented chord is 1 3 sharp 5. You can alter the notes of the chord of those major triads to create those other types of triads. You can also make them into sus4 triads, sus2 triads, Lydian triads, or Phrygian triads by simply knowing the basic 12 major triads. Okay, so how do we memorize them? Because that's actually what you need to do. Now, all of this material is in my Beato book, which you can get at my store, rickbeato.com. But this particular part of the book you have to memorize. There's really two things that you need to know from memory. They are what notes are in every key and what are the 12 major triads. Once you have the notes of those 12 major chords memorized, all you need to do is apply the formulas for the minor chord, diminished chord, augmented chord, and you can name what notes are in those. Beyond that, if we add an additional major 7, flat 7, or double flat 7, you can create any kind of 7th chord. So you combine the triads with that 7th, and you can figure out what notes are in any 7th chord. Okay, let's go to the piano and see how to actually put these into practice. I take C major, C, E, G, that's 1, 3, 5, and I flat the 3rd, it gives me C minor. If I flat the 3rd and the 5th, C diminished. If I take C major and raise the 5th or sharp it, it becomes C augmented. The other ones are C sus2, so that would be 1, 2, 5. C sus4 is 1, 4, 5. C Phrygian is 1, flat 2, 5. C Lydian is 1, sharp 4, 5. To make 7th chords, I take C, E, G, add a major 7th, and that becomes C major 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7 is C7. If I did 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, that would be a C minor 7. 1, flat 3, 5, major 7, that's C minor major 7. 1, flat 3, flat 5, major 7, that would be a C diminished major 7. Or 1, 3, sharp 5, major 7, that would be an augmented major 7. So you have the augmented with a major 7. You could have augmented with a flat 7. You could have a diminished with a double flatted 7, which would be a diminished 7th chord. You could have a diminished with a flatted 7th, which would be a minor 7 flat 5 or a half diminished. You could do 1, sharp 4, 5, major 7. That would be a Lydian major 7. You could have a major 7 sus2. There's your sus2 with a major 7. You could have major 7 sus4. Dominant 7 sus4. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what some of these chords are with the open strings. So there's your E major chord. What would that chord be? Well, if I take these notes, F, C, F, A, so the notes F, A, C are an F major triad. You already know that because you've memorized all 12 major triads. Well, this note B is a sharp 4 because from F to B is a sharp 4. Okay, so that would be, it's going to be F major with a sharp 4. And then that E is the major 7th of F. So it's F major 7, sharp 4, or sharp 11. We substitute the 11 for the 4. How about if I went up here and played this chord? Well, we have the notes B, F sharp, B, D sharp. Well, B, D sharp, F sharp is B major. And then that note E is the 4th. It's a 4th above the tonic. So it's going to be the sus4 is what we call it. So this would be a B major add 4 or add sus4. If I played this chord here, F sharp major with the 4, add 4, and add flat 7. So it's F sharp 7 with the 3rd and the 4th. So you would call it F sharp 7, add 4. That chord you've heard played by Alex Lifeson if you listen to Rush. Xanadu. Well, that's what that chord is. So in order to figure out the name of a chord, you have to do some analysis of it. What notes are in it? Is it part of a major chord, part of a minor chord, diminished, augmented? Or if it's a major or minor chord, let's say, does it have a 7th on it? Or does it have some added note to the triad? If you have a 2-note chord, root and 5th, we call that a dyad or a power chord. I would call that a C5 chord. Okay, that's the common term for it when you just have the root and the 5th. Root, 5th. C5. So any of these power chords, B flat 5, G5, F5, E5, so on and so forth. Sometimes you'll have a power chord or a dyad at the bottom of a voicing, like this. I tuned down to drop D in this. So you have D, A, there's your D5 chord then. Okay, this chord is B flat, C, F, A. Okay, so we have B flat, C, F, which we know because I've studied this, is a B flat sus2. And the A is the major 7th, so it's a B flat major 7 sus2 over D5. When you say over, it means above. That's when you see those slashes. If you have that chord like that, that's a D over F sharp, meaning over an F sharp bass. So this is how we name chords. So there's some memorization to be done if you want to learn how to name chords. I mean, you can go and just open up your Beato book and look up the things, right? You can say, oh, what's in a G major chord? What's in an E flat major chord? And you can deduce it from that. But really, you want to memorize these things. Check out my Beato book for more reference. You can find it on my website at www.rickbeato.com. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're a first-time viewer, don't forget to ring the bell. Follow me on Instagram at rickbeato1. I have a new ear training course out, the Beato Ear Training Method, that you can watch the introduction video at beatoeartraining.com. That will teach you how to hear these things. So as soon as you hear them, you know exactly what they are. And if you want to support the channel even more, think about becoming a member of the Beato Club. Thank you for watching.